I'm crouched in a back alley in Nashville, 2 laptops balanced on my knees, toggling between Zoom call meetings like I'm defusing a bomb. One wrong unmute and I might get fired from both. This was my life for 6 months until I discovered the 3 R's, which helped me handle conflicting meetings without having to break a sweat, diffusing the most common way that people get caught when they are overemployed, and allowing me to juggle 3 jobs for 4 years without getting caught. I vividly remember my first conflicting meeting. It was in that back alleyway. I was in Nashville on a company retreat, staying at an Airbnb with 2 of my coworkers. We're on the couch watching How To with John Wilson, the TLC Tugger episode, you know what I'm talking about, when there's a knock at the door. I am pretty sure I broke the 2-meter dash world record getting to the door. I look down and there's a box. Inside, a new MacBook Air, the key to my second paycheck. Yes, my first conflicting meeting happened on my first day of overemployment. I logged in and saw that one meeting at job 1 conflicted with an onboarding meeting at job 2. Now, in the beginning, it was just pure guerrilla style multitasking, listening for keywords on multiple Zooms at the same time. I didn't even try to solve the problem, I just refused to deal with it. I showed up to every meeting, even when they overlapped. I had no system, no structure, just a growing collection of canned responses I would use whenever someone called on me. The 2 main workhorses being 1, sorry I was multitasking, what was the question? And 2, sorry I was on mute, could you repeat that? Which works insanely well even though it makes no sense whatsoever. If I had any idea what they were talking about, I would just summarize the context and get them to restate the question, or I would just say, I don't think I'm the right person, and then direct the question to a subject matter expert on the call. Now, if you want to go nuclear, say that you're getting some feedback on your end and you're gonna leave and rejoin the call. That always works. Or even stay muted and then type in the chat, I don't think you guys can hear me, my connection might be timing out, let me rejoin. And that's really the first level, just brute force. Most of the time you end up learning which meetings you're actually needed on and which meetings you can just show up and throw your laptop into the corner. But here's the truth, if you want to stay sane or add a 3rd job, you need to go to the next level. And this is where you go from surviving to thriving. No more sweating in a back alley. Let's break this down into what I call your 3 lines of defense in avoiding meetings. Your first is to escape it entirely. Flee the battlefield. Your goal is to avoid being in meetings altogether. The best way to do this, and I will say this over and over again, is to ask your boss what the core task you should be working on because you have a lot on your plate. And then use that answer as a shield to get out of all meetings that aren't related to that specific list of tasks. And different meeting types require different responses. For recurring meetings, thanks for the invite, but I am heads down on insert core task, but please loop me in if there are any specific action items for me. And for important meetings that you definitely don't need to attend, something like I'll try to pop in if core deliverable ends early, but if not, feel free to make a decision without me. I trust the team's judgment. Then make sure to use the 24-hour rule. Don't respond to people's invites immediately, wait a day, people will respect the busyness, and it goes in line with you answering emails within 24 hours also. We don't want to seem too available. As long as your core deliverables stay consistent, it really doesn't matter. Your second line of defense is to fortify your calendar. You can't keep dodging invites left and right if your calendar is wide open. Someone will schedule an ambush. At the start of every week, go through each job's calendar and then block out the times where meetings are already set to make sure that no one schedules conflicting meetings in those slots. And if your calendar is public, give them real sounding names. Client deep dive, workflow alignment, pre-grooming, discussion, but it's much easier to just keep your calendar private. And then your 3rd line of defense, and this is to be used only when necessary, excuses. It is crucial if you're gonna be overemployed that you have excuses at the ready at all times. I had an excuse spreadsheet that I made up where I just listed out every possible excuse that I could make, and then I would add a date when I used it to make sure that I wasn't reusing excuses too often. Being quick on your feet is crucial, particularly not to draw attention to yourself. It could be a plumber showing up to fix a pipe, your dog having to go to the vet because they threw up, having to take one of your parents to the doctor, needing to sign for an important delivery, an internet outage, a power outage, a computer update, or the classic family emergency. If said with confidence, it doesn't really matter what the excuse is, just that you had it on the ready. Now, we can do everything within our power to escape meetings, but it is inevitable that conflicting meetings will happen. So instead of sitting like a shrimp, waiting for your name to be spoken, let's add some systems. And this is where we go from juggling to delegating. You stop trying to be at all places at once and instead build a system that makes it look like you are. See, the real problem with attending multiple meetings is that you will remember nothing. In the moment, it feels like you're juggling it and you know what's going on, but afterwards, it's like you wiped your memory. Think of it like trying to listen to 2 audiobooks at the same time. It's hard enough listening to one. And eventually, this will catch up to you when after a meeting, someone will ask you a question and you will have no idea what they're talking about. That happened to me on numerous occasions. So we need to add a few layers of redundancy to make sure that we're still capturing the core insights in those meetings. The first one being automated note takers. Things like Zoom actually have them built in, but I tend to use Otter AI or Firefly, which will give you a transcript after the meeting. Then I would read through, and if I was running the meeting, I would send an email out with the action items for each person. Now, if I was still doing this today, I would absolutely take the transcript, fire it into Uncle ChatGPT, and get it to give you the summaries. Most meetings just require your attendance and sometimes maybe speak once. Think all hands calls or your daily stand-ups. So eventually you get into a rhythm where you know when you're going to be called on, and even putting yourself in a position where you could speak first and then know that you're not going to be jump scared and being called on when you're not ready for it. Now, today if I was doing it, I would also try to look into a way where I could get my transcriber to alert me if certain keywords were said. For instance, if someone said, "Wilson, make a sound," so I could unmute and talk immediately. Now, the only problem being that it would have to run off of system audio, so you'd have to somehow get past your company firewalls to download things. It's above my pay grade. I tried building one using Python and voice recognition, but it didn't work at all. And I'm sure that there are some of you out there who appreciate this kind of pain and are smarter than me and could figure it out. Now, if you really want to be tricky, have those emails to be sent out early in the morning or late at night so people think you're grinding away in the wee hours. It's all about optics. The point is, meetings will conflict, but if you've got a system that collects, summarizes, and communicates what happened, you don't need to be present to be perceived as present. Because at the end of the day, perception is what protects you. Not whether you're there, but whether people think that you are there. That's what separates the stressed from the stealthy. Now, if you went through this video and now you're thinking, damn, I don't have any conflicting meetings, and you want some, then check out this video where I laid out my stealth strategy that helped me get overemployed. People seem to love it. Thanks for watching.